Greetings, it's Heidi with Heidonian Living, and today's book recommendation is The 7 Principles of Making Marriage Work by John M. Gottman, PhD. Okay, here is the deal. This is one of those life changer, must read kind of books. If you're married, if you ever want to be married, if you ever were married, honestly, even in relationships that aren't marriage relationships, much of what you can learn here can be applied to any relationship. And in fact, the many books I've read on growing your marriage, many of them Christian-based, some of them more mainstream-based, almost all of them that have been published since Gottman's book was, almost all of them refer to his research either directly or in the footnotes. And so that just makes me all the more know that seriously, this book can make a huge impact to improve your marriage and improve your life. So I truly, truly think it is a must read for every person that is married or wants to be married or has been married, like I said, or intends to get married. It's also research-based. Most of the books that I read aren't this hardcore research-based, but he is strictly research-based. Like, these findings are from actually studying real married couples. In fact, at one point, he quotes about how he did research with over 630 couples over a 14-year period. I believe it was 14 years. Maybe it was longer than that. But actually tracking and looking at how things progressed over time too, rather than a one-time snapshot. He has a love lab, he calls it, where basically they bring couples in, and through their research, seriously, they're to the point now that usually within about 5 minutes, they can predict with 91% accuracy on average whether that marriage will last or not. Now, we all know, those of us who are believers, that God is ultimately in control and he can impact any marriage any way he chooses. But it is also smart to equip yourself with knowledge that has been proven in the process. He doesn't ask us to do that blindly, right? So this is a valuable resource. It literally goes through the 7 principles that they have found through research that makes marriage work. I personally particularly liked the predictors of divorce. He goes through, and there are specific things like, if you see all of these signs, you are really at a high risk for divorce. If you see, we all have some of them in our marriage relationships, but the more you see, the higher your risk. So things like the harsh startup, my personal favorite, which was a siren to me to go work on our marriage years and years ago, and has been such a blessing through this research and growth and the counseling that I've worked through. But the 4 horsemen, they are criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. And we had all 4 of those rampant. And thank heavens, through growth and work and knowledge that I gained here, and that those are not common in our marriage anymore. But man, when I see those 4 horsemen rearing their head, I know it is time to be more intentional and on purpose with working on the marriage relationship. But I just, it's amazing, these simple things. Some of the other signs were flooding, meaning emotional flooding, body language, how, it's really different for men and women. And the book just goes on and on and on with real practical proven knowledge that can change your marriage. So seriously, go buy a copy, start reading it. You'll want to keep it a paper copy because you'll refer to it again and again and again, I can promise you. Because let's be real, almost all the marriage books that have been written since it was published refer to it as well. So there's some real good meat here. I know this will help you become more of who you're called to be and find freedom in the process.